morning, children. Let's continue with our next topic, that is how strong are your acid and bases. See children, let us have a recap of the previous topic which we have done in this chapter. Firstly, we had done what are acids and their chemical properties. In the same way, we have done what are bases and what are their chemical properties. Also, we studied why acids and bases, they show their peculiar chemical properties. What is the reason behind them and what do they all have in common? So acids give acidic property because of H ion, right? And bases show their properties because of OH ion. When they dissolve in water, they release these two, they dissociate, and that is the reason they are showing their acidic and property or basic property. But now the question stands, how strong or how weak an acid or a base is, or that is we can say the strength of acid or base, or strength of any acidic salt, basic salt or substance. For this, there has been, we measure the acidity or strength of acid or bases by pH scale. Now, what does pH stands for? pH, actually it is a German word. P stands for power or potence of hydrogen ion. So it's actually the power, what is the power of the hydrogen ion, and it is actually a simple scale from 0 to 14. It's a number scale. Like any substance which have pH equal to 7 is always a neutral. Substance which have pH greater than 7 will be a basic in nature, and substance which have pH less than 7 will be acidic. Now how do we measure this pH color or pH is number? So this is actually we have pH strip, right, and they have different colors on it. In the center there is a green color. You can see your book for this, textbook it is given, and then the color, there are different colors. So we have 1 to 14 number scale here, right, and the green color, it denotes 7 number, that is neutral. Actually this pH paper or pH scale, pH paper is made up of combination of many universal indicators. We prepare many, we mix many indicators, and in that we dip a paper and it is neutral in color. So when we dip this paper, that is pH paper, in any solution it changes color, and we match the color with this colored strip. Suppose the color here actually from 0, that means it's dark red. If the strip changes to dark red, that means pH of that substance is red and it is highly acidic. As we move down, it starts becoming orange and then yellow, the color changes, and finally the yellow color or orange color, they are weak acids. The strength is very less. So we can have, we can measure the strength of any acid or base by pH scale. So now pH, pH scale is something like this. Now this chart, this shows the strength of hydrogen ion and OH ion. Actually they both are present. Acidic and basic strength depend upon the concentration of hydrogen ion and concentration of OH ion. Just as in the figure we can see, when we move from 0 to 14, we can see the concentration of hydrogen ion is decreasing. So the substances which shows the color, whole strength we measured as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are acidic, and the acidity strength decreases when it comes to 7, it is neutral. That is neither acidic or not basic. Now we find when we go from 7 to 14, we will find that the strength of hydrogen ion, it decreases. So naturally the basicity increases, and we can find OH ion concentration is more in this. So the pH increases, more the pH, more the value of the basicity. The substance becomes more basic. So we can correlate that the hydronium ion, that is H3O, because we know that hydrogen ion is not very stable, so it combines with water and it forms hydronium ion. This I have told you before also. This is hydronium ion. So hydronium ion more concentration, then the pH is lower. So they are inversely proportional. pH is less, that means hydronium ion is more in there. If OH is more, concentration is more, that means the value of pH is more and the substance is basic. So this is how we can measure the strength of any substance, how strong they are or how weak they are in their basicity or acidity. So we find that the strength actually depends on the number of hydrogen ion and OH ion which are produced in the substance. So this tells me, so we have an experiment also, or first experiment in the lab also, which is related to this also, to find the pH of the various substances. So in that experiment, simply the activity is also given in the book and the table is 2.2, as you can see in your book also. There are number of substances like saliva before meal, saliva after meal, lemon juice, colorless aerated drink, carrot juice. To find the pH, we simply have to put the pH paper or universal indicator in that solution and the color changes and we have to match with the pH scale. So the color relates to the number and we can find whether the substance is more acidic or less acidic, right? Now the importance of pH in our everyday life. pH plays a very big role, as you have studied in nutrition also. Our body also works in a particular pH only. Like generally our body has a pH of 7.2 or 7.3. The pH of our blood is also around 7.3, 7.4. So once you find that pH plays a big role, some of the lower organisms, they exist in higher pH, some exist in the normal way. So it depends. So pH affects many animals and plants also. Let us discuss some of them. Firstly, that we can see that pH in our digestive system. See, in our digestive system, we have seen that the first part, mouth, it secretes saliva, which is alkaline in nature. It also releases an enzyme, that is ptyalin, which works only in alkaline medium. After that, when the food goes to stomach, now what happens? The medium has to be changed from alkaline to acidic. And this is done by the gastric juice, which is released by stomach, as it contains your HCl, small amount of dilute HCl. There are two functions of this HCl. One is to change the medium, okay, and next is to kill the bacteria that come along the food. It has two main functions, right? Changing the medium. The medium has to be changed because now the acids which are released by the various juices, they work only in specific, you can say medium, that is acidic medium. Sometimes what happens when we don't eat any food, sometimes the release of HCl is more in our stomach, we feel very pain. It is quite painful. So to avoid this, what we do, we generally take antacid to relieve this pain, and the most common antacid is your milk of magnesia. That, if you remember it from 8th class, it is nothing but your magnesium hydroxide, because it is basic in nature, so it neutralizes the effect of the HCl produced in the stomach. Or beside this, you can take anything which is basic in nature, like your dissolved baking soda, and drink that. Or you can take the Eno salt. Eno salt contains nothing, but it is a basic salt. So you dissolve it in water, you have that. This will neutralize the effect of the acid which is produced in your stomach. So it neutralizes and we get a relief from the pain. Next, importance of pH is pH change, the cause of pH change, it causes the tooth decay. How? Because when we eat the food, what happens, some of the food, it remains stuck in our teeth. And do you know the teeth, they have the hardest substance material which they are made up of, that is known as enamel. Now if the food stays for quite long and we don't brush it properly, so this food starts decaying, and bacteria, when they break it down, they release some type of acid. This acid will attack the enamel and it will break it. And finally, when it becomes weakened, the enamel breaks, then we feel the pain because the next part of the teeth is very soft. The food goes down and we can feel any hot or cold substances over there. So if the pH or tooth, you can say mouth changes, it also affects the tooth decay. So that is why it is advised after having every meal, you must brush it or you thoroughly rinse your mouth so that the food does not stay for a long, or any sugary item. Generally it is the sugar substance or sweet things that starts decaying and producing acid in your mouth. So you must rinse your mouth after all that meal, and also before going to bed you must brush your teeth. Now all the Colgates, all the toothpaste, they contain some basic substance. They are basic in nature. So this is the reason they will kill off any, they will change the medium, and further degradation of the teeth, it will not take place. Next role comes the self-defense by animals and plants. They also do so by the pH. For example, when you try to irritate any honeybee, it stings you very fast. It releases an acid, that is, you can call it as formic acid or methanoic acid. Methanoic acid in our skin, and it irritates us a lot. This is actually a self-defense by the honeybee or by the wasp. Any insects, immediately they will sting you and they'll release this small amount of acid in our body. The skin swells up or it causes irritation, lot of irritation, and we feel pain. The solution to this is immediately we should rub any basic substance. You can take a baking soda or toothpaste or anything which is more basic in nature. It will relieve you from that pain, right? And similarly in plants also, some of the plants, a very famous plant whose leaves are very sharp and it stings, that is your nettle plant. It is generally found, it is a wild plant. So when any animal or human being, it crosses it, the leaves of this are very sharp and they just stings to the human skin, and it causes pain and irritation. Again, the nature has provided its solution. Nearby any nettle plant, you will find another plant, that is dog plant, which when the leaves of this plant are rubbed over that, the irritation is lessened and it removes the effect of that nettle plant. So the solution is nearby. Around the nettle plant you will find such plants also, dog plant, which will relieve you from the pain. So we find that even the animals and the plants in nature, they do self-defense by release or by changing the pH. Next importance of pH is in the soil. See, sometimes now various plants, they grow in different, they need different type of medium. If the soil is too much acidic in nature, so some of the plants cannot be grown there. So to change that pH, by add some basic salts in it, like we can call it as liming of the soil, means sprinkling calcium oxide or calcium carbonate or something basic salts like this. So it will change the pH of the soil. Next, if the soil is too much basic in nature, then also we can add some, we don't add some acidic substance, but in fact we add some organic matter in it. When organic matter decomposes, it changes the pH of the soil. So this way we can maintain the pH of the soil for the proper growth of the plants, and this way we can have a good agriculture and we can get benefit from the plants. So this is mainly about how important the pH is in our daily life. After that, next is your exercise, and there is a table given on the page number 28 which you have to learn, that is naturally occurring acids. For example, in vinegar you find acetic acid, in orange you find citric acid, in tamarind you find tartaric acid, etc. and so on. After that, there are some questions which we will be discussing now.